All right, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's around 5 p.m. on April 3rd, 2020. It's all about this storm here. Second attempt on the weather update because my screen capture program crashed, so I'll try to remember everything I covered. It wasn't complete. Fortunately, I didn't complete the weather update. But anyway, here's the storm. Looks like it has an eye to it, right? And it does because it's actually a it is actually some kind of hybrid. And I've talked about this before that this storm has some tropical characteristics to it. And when we look at the radar here, you'll see an area of rain. I'm not going to enlarge this because it'll take a while to load. So this is probably why it crashed because I was loading it. I got to load it before. But anyway, here is the area of heavy rain here, a heavier rain that's moving away from us. Here's an article here. Meteorologists closely monitoring massive ocean storm churning in the Atlantic Ocean. The complex storm could develop some tropical characteristics as it continues to batter parts of the Atlantic coast, and it may even become a rare named hybrid storm. And this all has to do with the warmer than normal ocean temperatures. So let's take a look at the satellite here and look at this storm here. Move this over. And here is a look at this storm here, and you'll see here, first of all, that they've had a really nice clear day in Virginia, North Carolina, western Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Well, we've been stuck in the clouds, more or less. Eastern half of Pennsylvania, Delmarva, New Jersey, and much of the Northeast stuck in the clouds. There's your storm center right there. And you'll see here that it's got some pretty you see that it's got almost some, the core of it is warm. This is the core of it right here, right where, right over here. That's where the core is. I want to go look at another look at this. So let's go to Atlantic coast here and load this up here, and we'll load up a 24 so you can see the full size of this thing here. And I'll make it a little bigger. So here is the storm. You see it here, and it's moving southwestward, which is very unusual, very weird, and that's because of the very strong blocking in Canada and in the Atlantic. So again, it looks like it's got an eye to it, and fortunately, we haven't seen any of the high winds. I'll go over the observations in a little bit. The highest winds have been on the Cape, but there have been damage reports there, so we're going to have to look at that. And I guess that's where we're going to go next, is to the Weather Service radar, and look at the radar, and then we're going to go over some of these storm damage reports. So you can see here, there's the rain. It's been a pretty rainy, nasty day across the area, and there's still a couple of showers behind that, and then probably some drizzle lingering. If you go look here, you'll see there's some more rain here. So if we go to National Weather Service here, you'll see there's a high wind warning in effect for the Cape and Nantucket, and that goes until 10 p.m. this evening, with northeast winds 25 to 35 gusting to 50 miles an hour. And if we were to look at some of the observations here on the Cape, you will see here Hyannis is 46 with a northeast wind at 22 gusting to 46. And if we look at Long Island, you'll see the East End is getting some high winds. Before I do that, let's look at the storm reports. We've had, I can't go over all of them. In most of these towns, I don't even know where they are, but I'm assuming they're all on the Cape. Street flooding, coastal flood in Beachmont and Winthrop Beach, and non-thunderstorm wind damage, tree blocking a tree down, chestnut trees and wires down in Essex. Non-thunderstorm wind damage, well, they basically say that tree down, and non-thunderstorm means it's from the coastal storm. So trees, power lines down. I already checked. There aren't that many power outages, so I'm guessing this is just scattered. Non-thunderstorm wind damage in Tolland in Connecticut, so that's a tree down in Gray. So some damage in Connecticut, eastern Connecticut there, tree down in Essex, trees and wires down in Curtis, trees and wires down in Norfolk, and in Middlesex in Massachusetts as well. So some scattered reports of trees down because of these high winds that are going on. So looking at our area, we'll work our way from west to east on Long Island, looking at some of the observations. Farmingdale is 51. The winds are north at 10. And we'll see how much rain that fell at Farmingdale. Not all that much. Not all that much, which is kind of surprising. I guess it looks worse on the radar than it actually is. But it's still a light enough rain to be a nuisance. Islip, 49 degrees, north at 14. And they had some wind gusts earlier up to 30, but right now the wind seems to have dropped off a little bit at Islip. But if we go further east and we look at West Hampton, you'll see the wind is worse there. North at 17, gusting to 26. And you'll see it's pretty chilly out there too. Temperatures around 48. Just a nasty day to be out there. Deal with us. So we're going to look at the weather and hazards map here and look at some of the observations. The gusts are in red. You will see we've had wind gusts not too bad on Long Island. North and the coastal flood threat. We do have coastal flood advisories in effect, but I don't think we're getting hit too bad because the wind is more from the north and almost a little bit more northwesterly component in New Jersey. You'll see over in the Cape the winds are more from the east. It looks like Montauk has the highest wind gusts on Long Island so far. So we look at some of these observations here. Montauk has a 49 with a wind gust up to 32 miles an hour. Curious to see if it was any higher than that. No, not really. And if we go look at the Cape here, you will see here some of these stations here. So let's look at this station here. 43 at the Provincetown Airport with a gust to 31. If we look at some of the observations from there, you will see here that they've had gusts up to near 50 miles an hour earlier. Let's look at another one. Let's look at this one here. This is Chatham Airport. So Chatham, let's see, they've had, I don't see many 50 mile an hour gusts here. So, I mean, Chatham has got a northeast wind gusting to 32. Let's go look at some of these buoys. Oh, and I do want to look at Nantucket too. So 45 at Nantucket, northeast wind at northeast wind at 31, gusting to 43. Wow, that's pretty bad. So let's see what they've gotten up to. They're an island, so their gusts got close to 50. Close to 50, but still not 50. Let's look at these buoys here. This buoy looks like it's got a pretty impressive wind. So buoy 44018, north-northeast wind, 34, gusting to 42. Well, let's take a look at those historical observations and see. So there's a gust of 51. So some areas have been gusting up to 51. The wave height is impressive, 19 feet. Wow, that's almost 20 feet. Let's look at this buoy, which is even closer to the center of the storm here. So we have northeast wind at 27, gusting to 36. Let's go and look at the historical. I don't see any gusts to 50, but what about the wave height? 13.8 feet. So we have some really high waves out there. This is a pretty large storm. Like I said, it's got some tropical characteristics that I'm not surprised about. When you look at it on the satellite, even you can almost tell that it does have some tropical characteristics. Let's go look at what was I going to look at on here? I was going to look at something on here, and I forgot what. Oh yeah. Let me look at some of the observations from this here. Nantucket again. I'm trying to show you how bad it is in Nantucket. So Nantucket. No, I'm trying to get the actual observation from Nantucket. Give that to me here. So 44, nasty, northeast of 30, gusting to 44. So this is just a representative of some of the conditions that are going on in New England right now. Then they got the high wind warning in effect, but so far Long Island seems to have avoided that. Let me see if we can maybe get Montauk. So it's 49, breezy, north wind to 21, gusting to 32. I don't know why it says the sun is out there. That would be impossible at this point. But there you go. Let's look at this storm here. Again, here is the high resolution satellite of it, and you can see it really does look like it has some tropical characteristics to it. Another thing that you note when talking about tropical characteristics is there lightning with the storm. So if there's lightning around the center, sometimes that can indicate tropical characteristics. And sure enough, there is a little lightning out to sea. So Not a lot, but enough, and that would indicate again that there could be some tropical characteristics to the storm. So I also want to look at Ventu sky. This will also show what the storm looks like. Here, let's get this right. That's too close. A little further out. All right, that's good. So here, this is a good way to visualize the storm here. You can see it churning away right here. Here it is churning right away, and it's moving southwestward because of the blocking, very strong blocking up in Canada, and also an upper level low. So if we were to look at the wind gusts, this is an animation here. You will see here, strongest winds are on the northeast side of it. But we're going to move this back to the temperature, and this is why we're saying it's a warm core, because it's warm in the core. And usually you don't have that with an extratropical storm. But with this one you do. I have to say, I think it had more tropical characteristics a couple of days ago than it does now, personally, because it did move into the cooler water. But they do have temperatures that are above normal in that area. So let's go look at the models, and we will see what's going to happen with this storm here. And I'm going to move this over to the U.S. Atlantic coast, eastern U.S. one. All right. So here is the GFS. Here's the storm moving away from us. It seems like it's a little closer than that, but there it is. It's going to be moving. Oh, it's going to be moving south. Oh, that's why I'm like, what? That's in the wrong spot. I realized, oh, it's right. It's Friday. It's not Saturday. My mistake. All right, so it's Friday. Here's the storm. It's going to move southwestward, and then it moves away from us tomorrow, southeastward. Very unusual way to exit. And then we should be dry, but we may be dealing with some clouds around. And then as we head into Monday, we should hopefully see some improvement as this high builds in, weak high, and then maybe another chance of rain early Tuesday morning, and then another more significant chance of rain Wednesday. That could be the next rainy day we have. And then Thursday, we maybe get a little break, and then another frontal system. This looks like a stronger cold front moves through on Friday. And then hopefully we can get some clearer weather as we head into there. I'll just move this along here. This is the 12Z GFS, by the way. And this is the long range, obviously, so you see what's going on. It still kind of looks like a cooler than normal pattern with these highs coming in. And so let's go look at the NAM here. Look at the NAM here as far as the storm goes again. Okay, we'll want to run the wind field with the NAM too. Yeah, this is being slow, the site. Probably a lot of people on it watching this storm. So here's your storm, and again, very deep low, 987. Very unusual to see, but we do see improving conditions tomorrow, fortunately, and it moves away in an unusual way, but it does move away, and then this high tries to build it and give us a nice day on Monday. I am curious about the wind field, so let's go ahead and look at that. So here's your wind field. I think it looked more tropical yesterday. I think it looks less tropical now, but we'll have to see. Once it moves into the warmer water, it may regain those characteristics again. So there it goes. It's moving away from us. That's most important. But wow, what an unusual storm this is. Very unusual to see. But again, with those warmer than normal ocean temperatures, that's what you get. You get these warmer than you get these stronger storms because you have more energy. I've spoken about this a million times. So I guess we'll start off with a look at the radar as far as our. Oh yeah, I'm looking at 12 kilometer. I'm looking at the precipitation forecast here. So here is the rain, and you see we still have that chance of rain into probably around midnight tonight, and then it starts diminishing, and then we can get some drier air in. GFS still pops, the NAM still pops up a really couple of slight isolated showers maybe tomorrow night, and then maybe another isolated shower around, I would say, 7, 8 p.m. on Sunday. and then that's it. And then we should be dealing with a dry day on Monday, and then the next chance would be Tuesday. But that's as far out as the NAM goes. Let's go to the GFS. No, I won't do that. Let's go to the GFS. I only did that because I'm trying to remember everything I did in the last one before it all crashed on me. Let's go to the GFS, and let's look at our temperatures here. It's annoying when you do something and then it crashes and then you got to do it over. So annoying. But anyway, as we go into Saturday, we should see the temperatures improve to more like a normal temperatures, so more like in the mid-50s, which is around where we're supposed to be this time of the year. And Sunday, even warmer on Sunday, so it'll be even warmer in New Jersey. Temperatures soaring into the mid-60s, maybe 70, where was on Long Island, we may be dealing with low 50s. And then on Monday, we see even warmer conditions, maybe near 60 around Long Island. And then New Jersey could be close to 70. And then we'll just look at the temperatures this week and see that there's that rainy day for Wednesday. You'll see it'll be cooler, but you can see there's a lot of heat off to the south. We're not going to get into that. And then Thursday looks to be a pretty warm day. Temperatures in the mid-60s, maybe close to 70. As we get that warm air surging up ahead of the cold front. The cold front moves through, and then we drop back on Friday into the low 50s, and then mid-50s on Saturday. And maybe we start to recover on Sunday. I mean, generally you could see no real extended periods of warm air. You see a little bit of brief warm up, but then it gets cool again. So the pattern is, cooler because we're going to have more of a trough in the east because of the blockier pattern up in Canada, so it keeps the trough in the east in cooler weather. We do have some, warm-ups, but I don't think we're going to see the kind of above normal month that we saw back in March. Hopefully, be closer to average. We haven't been close to average or below average, and I don't know. I can't remember the last time. So let's go look at the skies. So again, there's your storm. We're not really going to clear out tomorrow. We're going to have plenty of clouds around probably. Maybe a few breaks of sun. Sunday, we're going to probably see a lot of high clouds. And then Monday, we might have a clear day. We might have a clear day before these high clouds roll in on us late in the afternoon. And then we're going to be dealing with a lot of clouds on Tuesday. High clouds again. And then Wednesday, more clouds. Thursday, still in the clouds. But look at that. Friday, we might try to clear it out. And for the weekend, we may have a really nice day on Saturday. We may. We know how the models are this far out. So a lot can change between now and then, as you know. Let's look at the NAM 3 kilometer as far as the sky goes. This should give us most of the weekend. And this is the 18Z run, by the way. So it looks like the NAM's a little more encouraging about seeing some sun tomorrow. So maybe we will see some more sun tomorrow. And then for Sunday, actually has more clouds over us. And we're not going to be able to see until Monday what's going to happen with that. Let's see what the Canadian has as far as sky cover goes. Tomorrow, I think we will see some sun tomorrow. There'll be a few peaks, and maybe even a little more than a few peaks. Hopefully, we can be a little optimistic about that. Sunday, probably same deal, some clouds, some sun. Monday could be a really nice day. Could be a nice clear day, plenty of sun. Tuesday, we'll have to see. It looks like we have an improvement, though, at least. Though we should be seeing more sun, and that's important. I can look at one more model, and that's the RGEM, as far as the sky cover goes. I only have so much of the 18Z run of that in, so I'll have to use the 12Z. Okay, let's do that. Alright, there's your storm. Whoa, it's acting really slow. Again, the site's acting slow. RGEM, not quite as, it doesn't really bring the sun out until late in the afternoon. And then the next wave of clouds rolls in. Alright, we're going to look at windy.com lastly, because I this uses the URL, and this is the wind field of this storm here. I love the way this site it really just shows up the storm so nicely. So if you look at the sustained winds, this is pretty accurate, northeast of 39 on the Cape. You can see the worst of the winds is missing Long Island. And maybe, the Twin Forks are getting in a little bit of the strong winds, but for the most part, Long Island is being spared. This is more of a coastal New England thing. But right around the center, you can see those sustained winds around 40 miles an hour. But when we flip it over and look at the wind gusts, that's when things really get impressive. And you look at these wind gusts in the purples, which is 50 mile an hour wind gusts. And then you look over here and you see even in this area here, there's no buoys here, but the wind gusts have to be up near 60 miles an hour. And if we were to look at the waves, you will see here that we have some really high seas around this storm. It's near 20-foot waves in some areas. So really high winds with this storm. Very unusual. It's just an unusual hybrid kind of storm. Let's move this along. And you can see not really moving very much. 8 o'clock. It's still moving south, almost southwestward here. Euro is much slower with getting rid of this storm, by the way. Here's 3 a.m. Finally starts moving away. These are the wind gusts. So this purple area is where the strongest wind gusts are. And fortunately, like I said, that's kind of staying away from Long Island. But you can see this is 10 a.m. Saturday. And look at how elongated this. Look at this storm. It takes up almost the whole western Atlantic. It's huge. 12 p.m. It's still not moving very far. So the Euro is much slower on moving this storm out. 4 p.m. It's like it's just crawling out of here. 10 p.m. It's 10 p.m. Saturday. It's finally starting to exit the area, and then finally we start seeing it move away by Sunday morning. But man, let's go look at the cloud situation and see how this handles tomorrow as far as the clouds. I have a feeling it's going to, because of the location and the slow movement, we're not going to see the sun at all, according to the Euro. Maybe it looks like it is developing an opening over Long Island that might help us in the afternoon. Maybe. That opening, though, doesn't look all that impressive. Here's Sunday. Still plenty of clouds. Well, Monday. Monday looks better, but there may still be some high clouds around. We'll have to see. You see that south wind, though, and that's where we're going to see the temperature variation. So if I move this over to the temperature, you'll see here, with the sea breeze, Long Island will be in the 50s, but Jersey is going to be a lot warmer than that. Probably 64, maybe even some 70-degree readings on Monday, possible. And if not Monday, probably Tuesday, we'll see that even more. Tuesday will be even warmer with the southwest winds. So we'll have to see what happens, but this storm is definitely one for another example of what we're dealing with as we deal with the climate going on. I will look at the humidity, though, and see. I don't think humidity is going to be an issue, though, for the next couple of days. So at least it does not look like we're going to be dealing with any. It will warm up, but I don't think we're going to be dealing with any humidity as far as things go. Maybe Thursday we might. No, Thursday doesn't have. No, Thursday doesn't have it that bad. We are looking at dew points, so it does not look like we'll be dealing with much humidity, but it will get a little warmer, but at least not humid. It should never be humid in April, for goodness sake. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care.